Sometimes we have to face the fact that not all the time will there be somebody who understands what it is, like the feelings that we're talking about, how we feel. And I've seen that, and the thing with me is like I fixate on, well, emotions and body language and words, and I just observe and like the psychology behind things to tell me who it is that I'm speaking to. So when someone speaks to me, well, I sit there and I ponder, like I'm listening, of course, but then I'm not only listening, but the way you form your sentences, it tells a lot about you. And then I go home and I'm like, bring out the drawing board, and I get there and I'm writing and I'm writing. Well, like not literally, but figuratively. And I'm writing like in my head, like just lines and lines, like trying to get to know this person better. That's why astrology, it's helped me a lot to understand people, because it gives me like a starting point, because I'm a control freak. I can't even help that about myself. So when I could put my finger on something, be like, oh, like that's that, and this also traces back to that, and then that also comes back to here. I'm like, this is like the perfect starting ground for me. Oh my gosh, please don't do this right now. Um. Oh. Oh. Just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Uh, Oh, sideways, please. Thank you. Thank you. But literally, I've understood from a lot, especially astrology, because I'm telling you guys, it exists. Just because you don't believe it, it does not mean it does not exist. Me, I'm a water sign. I'm Scorpio. I'm said to be one of the most like intense signs, the most like out of all the water signs, out of all the signs, like my emotions, like they're said to be the strongest, and it's something that I believe, because when I feel something, it's like, how do I explain it? And I know I'm like kind of jumpy right now, so just because like when I'm telling you, I've been in my head all day, and I've just started to like get back in a bad place. So now I'm just trying to like speak and get out of there. But like the thing is, like, something that happens to me to someone else, it might be a small thing, like a breakup, for example. To someone else, they might take that breakup and they might just like get over it. Like they can stay with someone for a year. After that year, after a week, they could be in another relationship. You would have never thought that they got out of it. If I go through a breakup, if it was very similar to yours, if it was even the exact same, I that reality of what just happened is not a reality that is as easy to face as them, for me to just walk around and jump to the next person. I couldn't do that. It's not that I couldn't do that. I can't do that, is what it is. And people show me a lot of the times that, again, I'm not going to say astrology is an excuse for me just not speak to people, because again, I believe, I try to like debunk it myself. So I tell myself, let me go talk to this person, let me see how it is. Let me go talk to this sign that I low-key don't really get along with, let me see how it is. But I can tell that there's no grounding. I can tell we are very different in the way we process things. And that's how it is for a lot of people that I deal with. So I tell myself, well, I guess I don't want to sit there and talk to a wall and just feel like, again, you can try to understand, but like, you're never going to fully comprehend the words and feelings that I'm describing. So I'm just like, like YouTube. This is why YouTube is so perfect for me. Why? Because on YouTube, it's like there's people out there who may pick up certain things and actually understand the extent of which I reach. Like sometimes some people, they might look at me and they'll maybe like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like for me, it's like I understand. Like I please, like, it's like, please tell me you understand. Like I can be describing like, oh, I'm sick. And when I'm sick, I'm not just sick, but like also, because I said it before, like when you start one bad thing, it leads to bad and bad. So when I'm sick, if I'm just feeling like nauseous and sick, it's not just that. Like all of a sudden my body feels bad, but wait, no, it's not just my body now. But all of a sudden we're back to my head again. Now I'm feeling bad up here. Now everywhere is feeling bad. And now the thoughts are bad. The way I'm breathing is bad. Everything is bad. And to someone else, they might be like, oh, well, no, you're just sick. You're just sick. That's why. And sick doesn't usually make you feel like that. You see, it doesn't usually make you feel like that, but it makes me feel like that. And that's why, again, I just realized like I'm gonna start speaking to other people less and not like trying to like, again, because for some people it's like, things that I've countered, like anger and stuff like that. I can share my experience on how I did with that, but when it comes to sadness and trying to grasp happiness, it's not something that I could really like explain to someone, because it's not something that I've even got into like understanding and being there and getting over it. So I just tell myself, well, the feelings, they're mine. How bad you may feel, it's how you feel. And maybe I tell myself that other people out there cannot understand how I feel because it's my feelings. And even though we experience similar emotions, we don't experience it to the same extent. The depth to me is not the same depth to you. Because again, something that was so small to someone else is something that could have brought me to ruin. And that's the depthness of my character. And well, it's a depth that not many people understand. And that's okay because, well, I'm me. And again, my emotions are mine. And I guess that is fine that, I guess that I get myself and other people don't. But I guess as long as I understand, then it's enough for me to just be like, I'm content, I suppose. And I'm surprised that I said so much in just 6 minutes, and I felt like this video was way longer, but that's what I want to say. And yeah, some people, they'll just never understand. You can't force them to. You can sit there and explain and explain and explain and explain, but if they just don't get it, well, they just don't get it. There's no more over explaining or nothing. It's up to them. But again, if you try to help them understand, I mean, the puzzle is left for them to solve. You gave them something to start with, and well, that's that.